Come on, David, finish your egg.
Oh, but it's too hard. The soldiers won't go in.
Well, then use your spoon, you silly sausage.
Who's a silly sausage? Telegram for you, darling.
You can take your pick with these two.
What have I done?
Well, you haven't finished your kipper for a start, young lady. Don? What is it? What on earth's happened?
Nothing.
It's about Billy, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Regret to inform you, Billy no longer in top 20. Stop. Billy arch-rival Christina Aguilera, set at number 1. Stop. It's from the Billy Piper fan club. David, take your sister into the garden, please.
Come along, Debs. We can play on the swing.
Listen, John. It still went top 10. Look, I know you had high hopes for the single.
No! Darling, I know what you're trying to do, but it's no use. It's always the same. You know, they're going at number 7 one week, they're out the next. It was the same with Wakefield, Debbie Gibson, Adam Rickett. You go back as far as Brother Beyond and Big Fun. It's only a matter of time before the record company drops her.
Oh, darling, even if it is over for Billy, she's still married to Chris Evans. I mean, she certainly won't have to make hats like Sonia.
Oh, darling, don't you see it? It's the worst of it. She'll still be in the limelight, clinging to his arm at premieres and so on. Creatively, she'll be finished. It's like Patsy Kensit all over again.
Yes, but even Patsy makes the occasional film.
Does she? Does she really?
Look, darling, why don't you go and have a lie down? I'll call the bank and tell them you're not feeling too well. You could always listen to Billy's first album.
Yeah. Yes, things always seem much brighter with it first.
Hey there, imaginary friends. Something is not good. Okay, some skips here. Just won't be alive. Let's see what I have going on. Okay. Give me a minute.
Rico can speak like wicked. Some hosen call Rico a traitor.
Hopefully this will function. Once again, I just decided to stream. No text document this time. We're gonna wing it completely. That was quite the radio drama there. There's a YouTube clip, of course. Yeah, the Dark Moon Fair is still ongoing, and we were promised a pony, so here we are again. And I wasn't planning on streaming this soon, but at one point I wanted to wait for the interview, but I guess it's better to get into it right away. So the clip is some sort of O-Billy, but not the O-Billy, but a O-Billy. And let us start there. In one of my previous streams I talked about that site, and the interview, of course, that was done in English, lingua franca of our age. My apologies to the Esperanto speakers. So clearly that's the upcoming market, but the thing is, at that moment I said something and I said I don't want to go into it, but I am gonna mention it now because I did see some traveling, and I was wondering if it was just pleasure or there was a bit of business in there too, and it seems there might have been. And I think that's a good thing. I'm gonna try, at least in the first part of the stream, to be as objective as I can, and then we'll go into the subjective part. So first things first, I wanna be respectful and appreciative, because I am, because who knows how much negotiation have there been and how much risk and effort to start everything from scratch. And not only that, I know from before at least 3 people in the team, and all of those let go very prominent positions that others fight tooth and nail for, and they left it all behind for this project, for a new game and a new studio. So much respect there. You know, that can be emphasized enough. They are all, you know, I hear about others and I know about these, you know, veteran professionals that know what they are doing, and that's one of the reasons I think they can go real fast, and even without that I think they are gonna release much sooner than the right MMO. Okay, I'm trying to think what else. First of all, objectively, objectively, I understand what they are doing. Like I said, you know, a new studio, new project. They wanna cast that net wide they wanna make it approachable, and I am quite sure they are gonna be successful with it. It seems they did pick a good model, and I'm not I believe that they will have their creative liberties, and it seems the atmosphere is good, and that things are gonna go well. Now that's all objective, but we are soon gonna go into objective because I didn't prepare once again. I didn't plan on streaming. I wanted to wait for the interview, another one. Okay, let's start with the subjective things. First of all, I think they maybe have lost some of the attention because of the BlizzCon. A lot of people were still under the influence of that one, and I think it was too vague, for people to ask some true questions. I mean, in BlizzCon they would go up and tell about the project and then answer the questions later. But with these announcements of interviews, maybe we'll get that too for this MMO. Maybe I should have prepared. Okay, let's go straight for the throat. There are people that say, I wanna see this, I wanna see that. Now I might say that, maybe not like that, but something like that. But it's their game, they have their vision, and they will do what they see fit. And this is a great example of why info should be released sooner than later, because like this there are no surprises for anyone. And my surprise was mostly in the aspect of classes. That's something I didn't expect. There were some moments, but there was a tweet mentioning samurai, and at the start of the not start, maybe at the middle of the stream, they mentioned a bunch of classes and rat catcher and stuff. For a moment I thought they were just joking, but seems they are not. Seems they are gonna go with a bunch of classes and the handful of spells, which, like I said, objectively, people are gonna feel a lot more easier to get into that, and I guess it's a more modern way of approaching an MMO. But like I said, it's not what I expected. So I'm a simple man, rigid man. I guess in some ways old-fashioned man. Get off my lawn, you new ideas. I expected a classic, MMO. when I said that, and I should have said it a lot sooner, as an objective intro, subjective intro, what did you all think? Everybody on the planet that knows what MMO is, in that moment had an image in his mind of some Dungeons and Dragons, if you will, a Western style fantasy. And I know there will be some counter arguments, but I don't think they are solid. I think even Eastern players would have that in mind. And not only that, I think even Eastern players want some Western style MMO, because I think the Eastern style MMOs are not lacking. There are a bunch of them, but that's just my opinion. I'm not saying that I'm right or that it would be successful. I think this will be the present state of Ghost MMO is gonna be successful, but I myself was hopeful about that EO fantasy that seems to be less and less present. This one looks more like some Overwatch. I forgot to check, I don't know what's that TFT, that scout stuff. Is it Teamfight Fortress or I'm not sure. You know, the influence for Overwatch, League of Legends, maybe even a bit of Fortnite. You know, bunch of games of that sort. So in a way, when I saw that sketch, and I guess all of this is subject to change, but I think they have some ideas and directions that they want to go with. So for me, maybe because of that interview and, you know, talk about WoW 2 and, you know, that a bit of that art at their official site, so it's not only me and my auto reflection. There was a bit of reasons to believe that they're gonna go with a classic fantasy, but it seems it went from WoW 2 to Overwatch 2 and from Fantastic Castle to realistic Dojo Saloon.
Wicked, watch out for Jinyu. Jinyu hit back.
There's no reason, I hope, to check anything. So that's the main surprise for me. And I only saw one person with the same sentiment, And I guess, I don't know, I'm still hopeful, but I'm not as enthusiastic. The different reasons. I guess if we were to include the latest Twitter poll, X poll, and I was surprised to see that many people hyped about those hero spells. So like I said, you know, I'm not in the majority here, most probably. I'm trying to remember what else I wanted to talk about. Okay, let's go with the... I don't want to go into other stuff and then forget what is the main thing I wanted to say. I guess, you know, more people would be more inclined to get into that kind of fantasy and that kind of setup. And like I said, you know, the hero spells, I did expect there to be a lot less spells. I didn't really expect that kind of fantasy, and there will probably be, you know, like some... I don't know how the League of Legends functions, but I guess more like Overwatch kinda spells, which is, I guess, better. But like I said, you know, when I saw that sketch, you know, Gatling guns and samurai and which is all fine, but not something I expected. So yeah, they are afraid of the Eastern publisher, but I think the monetization model that was mentioned was Boxcast and or subscription, which makes it a pretty classical model. So something between Ashes of Creation and New World. Yeah, and I guess those spells people like that, so that will be fine. Some recognizable stuff. And as for the... yeah, one more thing. Yeah, they said they wanna... okay, there's a lot of other stuff that I could go into, but there's no really need. Maybe I will try to remember some stuff, but the thing is, one of the dangers there would be... sure, it will be an MMO, but League of Legends is free, and it's already seems instanced MMO like Shadowlands or Wayfinder. So because of that, I thought, you know, they wanna move fast, that's fine, but they're gonna go with the classic fantasy. They didn't. But then they went from WoW to Wayfinder, and Wayfinder is gonna come out a lot sooner, and it's gonna be free for the people that are into it. League of Legends is free, Overwatch is free, Fortnite is free. I play Fortnite, and although they have that fantasy where anything is possible, although I understand it, and it's better, like I said, to cast that net wide, but then some things might get lost. And I understand that they wanna make their fantasy wide, but like I said, there is a trade-off. Not to go into Fortnite and myself here, but usually I just use mostly, especially when it comes to buying, the skins that are of a certain type. You know, some regular people that got surprised by store. I'm not really into those fantasy. It somehow feels weird for me to be a knight with a machine gun. It can make sense, but not really into it. So there might be some issues there. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Now for the other stuff that are most interesting to me, art style. I mean, different people remember different stuff. I tried to go through it quickly right before the stream, but I don't have that much time. So I guess art style wise they wanna go something a bit more realistic. Like I said, I've seen those official site images, and I don't know, I guess it's okay, I'm not sure. That's also gonna be tricky from my point of view. Like I said, all those games I mentioned before are have more cartoon art style. That seems to work a bit more. Yeah, hopefully I will remember most stuff, but doesn't matter. So let's try and pick up the pace here. Races, if they're gonna add, you know, de facto, you know, the interesting races, then fine. Doesn't matter how they are called. I mean, I'm one of the people that are not into really playing humans in a fantasy game, and usually I do make alts mainly for the purpose of you know, having another race. Don't know how they're gonna approach that. I'm not into leveling and, you know, all the other stuff, but I will remind you that I think I mentioned that people in Wrath of the Lich King, the real one, because there were those two specs you could have. Some people would rather re-level and re-gear third spec than respec. I guess they're gonna go with the Final Fantasy model, which I kinda, I mean, I always appreciate the casualness, but I don't know how that will work. I have no experience with it, and you know, I like kinda having alt, so don't know about that one. two shots, there are different opinions. I'm not sure I understand it. If it's, you know, more casual versus more sweaty content, then fine, but it seems it's gonna be a bit different than what I imagine. Yeah, targeting, I was talking relatively a lot about it, and I guess combo would be fine. Tab targeting is more casual approach, and I understand that they wanna add that extra level of skill. And I talked about it, how it should be explained well, and that people to this day don't know how Cone of Cold works. So, and yeah, I know that Destiny has various issues, but one of them is people that wanna aim, they play shooters. People that don't wanna aim, they play MMOs. Was there something else? There probably was, but who knows if I'm gonna remember it. And I think we covered most of it. Not sure. There was a lot, and I didn't plan on doing this. And like I said, I wanted to wait, but then I decided, you know, let's just get it out and then focus on other stuff. So I will try to remember something, but I'm not sure that I will.
Rico feel happy that Wicked is here.
I guess this won't be. It doesn't matter, I guess I said enough already, and let's not prolong this.
Rico is lover and fighter, and dooker.
Is there something else? Now, don't get me wrong, I think the competition is good, that various solutions and, you know, the improvement and all, but you know, I'm still hopeful. I'm still gonna talk about it specifically and in general. And hopefully they will share more info and we will know more about it, and I'm talking in circles, so
see you soon. Real.